I'm Cole Harrington, the guy magazines love to call cold, ruthless, born with a calculator where his heart should be. And I used to think that was easier to live with than the truth until a gray Tuesday at 4:12 p.m., when my phone lit up in a boardroom so quiet you could hear egos breathing and a kid's voice spilled through the speaker like it was running for its life. "Mister, please. My sister fell." "There's blood." I called the number in her backpack and hit the wrong button. "Don't hang up," that's what she said. And something in me stood up before my body did. Victor Kane kept talking about cost optimization, while I grabbed my coat and said, if a person dies, the acquisition won't matter. You know what I mean? The driver barely had the car out front when I asked the girl where she was, and she said, Oak Ridge by Sunrise Donuts. Pink sign. "I'm Lena, I'm 9. And then the crying hit so hard I could hear her teeth click, sirens on one phone. Hospital on the other, traffic like a video game I was willing to lose. Harbor City wet and mean, and there they were on the curb. Lena shaking so hard her ponytail trembled. Ari on the concrete head bleeding in that steady, terrifying way that feels like time leaking out of a person. Not the movie kind, the real kind. I ruined a pair of pants kneeling down and said, "I'm Cole. You did the right thing, calling me." "Is my sister going to die?" She whispered words too heavy for a 9-year-old mouth. "No," I said, even though I had no right to promise. The paramedics rolled in calm and brave. "We need a guardian," one said. "We can roll, but trauma center's going to ask who's responsible." "Today I am," I said. "Are you family?" he pushed. "Today I'm what she has." We hit the doors of Harbor General, and that smell of antiseptic and heartbreak grabbed the back of my throat. That's where I met Dr. Maya Ellison. Moves like a storm and a prayer, at the same time scrubs dark eyes that cut through 3 layers of nonsense. "Where are my nieces?" she snapped, then pulled Lena in with one arm while ordering CT labs. "Neuro," the charge nurse said those words. "Systems used to make good people feel small. We need consent insurance signatures." And I stepped in with the version of me people recognize. "Give me the pen, I'm covering everything." "Third-party guarantees aren't authorized," the nurse said in that polite dagger voice. "You can accept my signature or explain to legal why you delayed a time-critical craniotomy because you were worried a billionaire's card might bounce," I said. The room went still, like even the monitors were listening. Maya studied me like she was deciding if I was useful or dangerous. "You want to help?" she asked, not blinking. "I don't want to." "I'm going to," I said. "Then stop talking and hold this," she said, shoving a clipboard at my chest. Doors swung. Gurney rolled Lena's small hand, found mine like it had always lived there. And the waiting started. 4 hours of bad coffee and good terror. Victor calling 5 times with that villain energy voice. "We have obligations to shareholders. You disappear now and we'll have a problem." And me texting back, "We already have a problem. You just discovered I care about people, hour 3. And Maya came out, shoulders sharp, eyes softer. They relieved the pressure. She said, "Young and strong is on her side. We watch for swelling next 48 hours matter." And I realized I'd been holding my breath for an hour. "Thank you," I said, which felt too small. "Don't thank me yet," she said. "Thank the nurses who haven't peed in 7 hours. And thank the girl who dialed the right-wrong number on. Was leaking through plastic blinds when Ari opened her eyes. "Who are you?" she rasped. "The guy who answers unknown calls," I said. "Why?" she asked. "Because someone had to show up," I said. And she nodded, like that was enough. I thought that was my exit swoop, pay, vanish. But life didn't want a cameo from me. It wanted a rewrite too. The small rewrite came first. Pancakes for Lena, her whole face lit up like a power grid. Then the honest one, I asked Maya what she needed, And she didn't say money. She said time, not to be eaten alive by shift rotations and second jobs, time to raise two girls who had been through hell and pretended they were fine. Okay, I said. Then we start there. And right on cue, the other antagonist showed up in a collared shirt and a lease renewal, market adjustments. The landlord smiled. 18%, bump, nothing personal. Everything's personal when you're moving a kid in recovery, Maya said, eyes steady. He shrugged. If you can't swing it, I've got a developer. And he meant eviction. He meant tax abatements and short-term rentals. He meant money. So here's the twist everyone waits for. I could have cut a quiet check and kept us safe instead. I called a lawyer, then a reporter who owes me his career. By Thursday, the 6 o'clock news was airing a story about a landlord pressuring a trauma surgeon and her injured niece. I thought you handle things privately, Maya said. When the trucks left. I do, I said. Until private means they win in the dark. The clinic idea came like a dare. I couldn't ignore. Victor cornered me in a hallway. This savior act is compromising our edge, he hissed. You're soft. The board will eat you alive. You confuse softness with weakness, I said. My job is to lead, and maybe leadership sometimes means showing people what money is for. We can replace you, he barked. Maybe, I said, or maybe you remember why I'm here. Because I make things happen. And here's what happens next. We open a free clinic in Harbor City Primary and urgent care for the folks who fall through every crack. We partner with the hospital. Measure outcomes, make the brand harder to hate. Silence thick enough to chew. Then the CFO, who never talks, said, if he lands matching grants, it pencils. Victor glared like betrayal had a smell. We're not in the charity business, he snapped. We're in the business of not being hated, the CFO said calmly. That's worth money. And just like that, by logic or fatigue or luck, we won, handing Maya the keys to a squat brick building, 3 blocks from Sunrise. Donuts felt like handing her a steering wheel. You did this, she whispered. No, I said. We did this. You build the care, I'll fuel the engine. Lena runs the snacks like a tiny CEO, and Ari, the kid who measures the world with her eyes, will get her shadowing at Harbor Tech. Months of dust and paint followed. Our first fight was small and stupid. No coal. We're not naming an exam room after your dog. And our big ones were with the city permits office with a pharma rep who thought a box of samples was community service, with Victor leaking stories about me buying forgiveness. He doesn't know you, Maya said. Most people don't. I said, then let them watch. We'll outwork their opinions, she answered. Opening day, Lena and Ari cut a ribbon with plastic scissors, and the line wrapped around the block. A roofer with a cough, he'd been ignoring a mom with 3 kids who hadn't seen a pediatrician in 2 years. A teacher who kept fainting and thought it was stress, until Maya found the anemia. Victor showed up to sneer. This is smaller than I imagined. And an elderly man squeezed my hand. He's the one from TV. The man who helped the girl. I told you people like that were made up, he told his daughter. Outside, Victor said, You're burning money, and I said, We're burning down the idea that profit is the only thing worth measuring. Maybe that scares you? It bores me, he smirked. Then go be bored somewhere else, I said. And he did slowly. The noise shifted, reporters who came to catch me slipping. Left writing about Maya's intake that sliced wait times in half. A councilman who once called me a velvet sledgehammer asked how to replicate us. Ari shadowed engineers and asked questions they didn't see coming. Lena learned every regular's name and their lollipop flavor, and me, the man people loved to hate. I learned that armor built from spreadsheets doesn't keep you warm one night on the back steps. takeout boxes between us, city. Humming, Maya rested her head on my shoulder and said, I thought you were just another checkbook with shoes, Ver. I said, I thought you'd tell me to stay in my lane. She laughed, then got quiet. I've been the only black woman in rooms full of white coats who called my ideas too idealistic, too expensive. I got used to fighting alone. It is weird and honestly annoying how good it feels to not be alone, she said. I kissed her knuckles because words felt clumsy. I grew up counting coins. At laundromats, got jumped for wearing the same shoes. Too long, learned that power keeps you safe, I said. I built armor because I thought kindness gets you killed. Kindness gets you a clinic, she said. Kindness got me you, I said. And yeah, that happened, not a fairy tale. Ari had a seizure scare at month 3, and we all forgot how to breathe until the CT came back clean. Lena got in a fight at school with a kid who called us charity cases. Victor tried another board ambush, and I told them if ethics is dangerous, maybe we're in the wrong business. But we stacked small wins like bricks. The open house where Lena tapped a mic that didn't need tapping and said, a year ago I called the wrong number. And Mr. Cole answered, if you ever think your call won't be answered, call us, we answer. And folks clapped because they didn't know what else to do with their hearts. I could end the story there with a bow. But life loves a messy third act last week. The DA called. They found the driver from the hit and run, uglier than I imagined. A city employee with priors that got sealed, because privilege doesn't always look like money. Case is going public. The DA wants us to testify about impact. I said yes. Maya said yes. Ari said, I don't know what. She wants accountability, not annihilation. Lena wants a mic, and the truth, Victor texted. Told you you'd get burned, and maybe he's right. Maybe stepping into the light means your flaws show too. Maybe helping with your whole chest paints a target for people who hate that sound. Or maybe that's exactly why you do it. Maybe the point isn't to win arguments, but to keep answering calls until nobody's scared to dial. So tell me what you think. Was I right to throw weight at a hospital desk? Was Maya right to drag a landlord into daylight? Does using wealth to bulldoze red tape fix the system, or just make a prettier detour? If you were on that board, would you have voted for the clinic or told me to mind the quarter? Drop your take in the comments. Tell me what cracked your armor or changed your mind about a person or a block or a headline. And if you ever made a call you were sure nobody would answer. Tell us who picked up hit like if this hit you. Share. If someone you love needs a reason to show up one more day, subscribe and stick around, because the court case is next, and we're going to talk about justice repair and what it costs to finally come home.